Well, boys, time to see what it's like when the Kingsmen come to America. Why do people even do that? This isn't even tobacco. This is gross. Why do people even do this? It doesn't make any sense. It's gross. Kingsman: The Golden Circle was once again directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Taron Egerton, Mark Strong, Julianne Moore, Channing Tatum, Jeff Bridges, Pedro Pascal, and a bunch more, and basically is the follow-up to Kingsman: The Secret Service. This time around, Julianne Moore is the villain. She has completely destroyed the Kingsman base, and it's basically up to Eggsy and Merlin to figure out who she is, what she's doing, where she's at, and they also run into and get help from their American cousins, the Statesmen. I gotta talk about the actors and the acting in this movie. Once again, Taron Egerton brings his A game and does such a great job as Eggsy and proves why it was such a great idea to cast him as this character, because there was nobody else that would have done this character justice except for him. He is still suave, he's still funny, there's growth from his character from the first movie that he brings into this one, and he once again does a fantastic job in the action scenes as well. Mark Strong, who I didn't get to talk about in the last movie because he wasn't in it very much, but Mark Strong as Merlin is a really great sort of straight man who really, you can tell, and from what you get to learn more about Merlin, is all about mission first. He doesn't have much of a life outside of the Kingsmen, and it's just his life, and it's a pretty good difference between Eggsy and Merlin than it was from Eggsy and Harry from the first movie. And it's still great to see them travel cross-country throughout this movie. Since we're going to America, we got to talk about the Statesman. So, having Jeff Bridges as basically the Arthur of the Statesman, I think he's called Champagne, all of the different members being named after alcohol, it's kind of funny, and the whole gimmick that instead of Knights of the Round Table, the Statesmen are basically like cowboy spies, which is kind of brilliant. Also, I didn't know who Pedro Pascal was before this movie, and afterwards, he was a standout too. He did a great job with the dramatic moments and with the action scenes. He was great, and I've really been kind of following him since, even through The Last of Us. This is the movie that really put him on my radar, like how Taron Egerton was in the first Kingsman. I've been following him since. So it's kind of cool how these movies, to me, have kind of really put the spotlight on two actors I didn't even know who they were. So I thought that's really cool. Julianne Moore as the villain is really interesting because you can tell that she is really having a blast playing this very tongue-in-cheek sort of villain. But like the saying goes, a movie is only as good as its villain, and it's not that she is bad. It's just that her character is very weak. And I think that's where I start to come on into the problems with this movie. This movie is very bloated. There's a lot of traveling place to place to place, and it's basically just it's only to serve the runtime and to get from A to B. The middle section is kind of uneven, and it focuses a lot on the B plot than the A plot, and there's so many B and C plots that just are okay, and has an ongoing cameo that, though at first is very funny, it does kind of wear itself out, and that's another thing. It relies strongly on a lot of humor, and some could say that the action is a little more over the top. It's a little blown out of proportion to almost like superhero levels. So it's one of those movies that it does get a little more ambitious, a little too ambitious, I should say. And though it does that, it's one that still knows how to have fun, and you can tell the actors are really in it. There's some great twists within the movie, once again, will not spoil. But though despite its messy plot, weak villain characters, and over-reliance on comedy and action, it's still one that really has fun. You still connect with the characters, and at the end of the day, though as weak as it is, it's still very entertaining and is a great watch, and I can't say it's a bad movie. Is it a little disappointing considering how well the first one was? Yeah, a little bit, but nonetheless, it's not like some of the Jurassic World movies, which the less said the better. It's still a pretty enjoyable film, and one that you can't help but still have a lot of fun with it. So those are my opinions of Kingsman: The Golden Circle. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Let me know in the comments below. If you have any suggestions or recommendations, don't forget to put those down there. I always take those into consideration. Also, if you like content like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, don't forget to follow me on my socials. I have an Instagram. I have a Letterboxd account if you want to see what I post and what I've watched. And also, don't forget to follow me on Twitch, which I've really been doing a lot more on my live streaming. So if you also have any recommendations on what to play or what you want to see me play, put those in the comments as well. And hop on over to Twitch. I do have some live streams you guys that I've done in the past you guys can watch. And you can also chat with me and play games live and all that jazz. So don't forget that. So Instagram, Letterboxd, and Twitch. Please follow me on those. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you all as always, and I can't wait to see you all in the next video.